As you heard, my name's Steve Hagley. I'm from Minnesota. I have 4 kids. My wife and I have 4 kids. 11, 9, 7, and the bonus baby, she's a little over 2. My wife goes to the grocery store a lot, okay? I mean, she's there every couple or 3 days, spends $4,000 or $5,000 each time. When I started the business, I just remember seeing in my wife's eyes, her thinking that Steve's not that sexy. I want to make sure that we have a very real conversation, okay? Because this commitment thing, am I going to encourage you, try to compel you to live and work and expect with more commitment? You bet I am, okay? But it's not going to be a blue sky, sunshine, happy talk about commitment. This is a tough deal. That we are all in some small or significant way contributing and perpetuating an environment that we don't like, that's unproductive. Why does Dr. Phil have a show? Because people are so darn dysfunctional, right? That they got to play it out in front of everybody, and the rest of America looks at this god-awful dysfunction and says, well, at least I'm not that bad. Our focus is really about the soft skills, the ability to communicate, build, broaden, deepen relationships. This third component of energy, which is just a modern way of talking about emotion, attitude, or feelings. And then the last piece is commitment. When it comes to commitment, we love to sell people on it, right? Come on, commit. I need your buy-in. We hate to be sold. Don't you hate to be sold? Yeah, we try and sell commitment all the time. We hate to be sold. We want them to buy into the initial yes. And we think, oh, good, they committed. What blows up the initial yes are the inevitable no's that will follow. When you're trying to do what's best for everybody, okay, when that's what's driving you, you know, and you're really clear with that, then all of a sudden, you know, people that don't like you speaking up, they're way outnumbered by the people who are glad you are, right? If you're in touch, if you know what's going on, if you are serving others, right, if we're committed to that, then there's no penalty for saying something. The risks and rewards of commitment are so big. The risks are big. The minute you change or modify, broaden or deepen your commitment, you immediately affect everybody else around you, especially those closest to you. That's what that 15% represents. That 15% says, I got everything I need to do the job that I'm supposed to do. The other 85%, when they're told you're not doing your job, they go, I know. Hopefully at this point in the presentation, a little over halfway through, you're thinking, man, I gotta get serious about this commitment stuff. It's a stunning, shocking, mind-blowing status of the current corporate environment. No? Does that dead silence mean that you're just absolutely riveted or you're bored already? So the question then becomes, you today, you know, what beliefs, attitudes, stories, values, relationships do you have today? Today, that if you were to eliminate them before you walked out of here, if you just made the decision, I'm going to stop doing that. If you just made the decision to eliminate it, you would immediately improve your quality of life and ultimately productivity, efficiency, innovation, creativity, whatever. Am I making sense? Too many times we try and cram more stuff in our head. We try and shove more stuff into the system at work. When in reality, we got to create some space. We got to let go of the stuff that used to serve us well. It was working great in 2003. And maybe it's still working well in 2010, but we know the day's coming. But we still cling to it. Does that dead silence mean that you're just absolutely riveted or you're bored already? Canoe burning happens. Whether you want it to, whether you choose it to happen or not, it just happens. Look at the pretty flames. Feel the wonderful heat. Let's get some marshmallows. Okay? In canoe burning world, that is a campfire, a ceremonial burning, a wonderful moment of transition. Campfires and ceremonial, spontaneous combustion, controlled burn. Any questions about the first three? We're about to segue to the nasty stuff, okay? The raging wildfires. And the guy that married us is this Catholic priest that my aunt likes to call Father What a Waste because he's so handsome. Then and only then do you move to the head. You feed the mind, knowledge and information, okay? This is where most companies, most people, most parents, certainly most spouses, start, right? They start telling you, here's why we should do this. You got to start here, okay? You tell them the hard and soft skills necessary. You talk a little bit about the process. This is where your PMP, let it rip, because they've asked you how, okay? You talk a little bit about the politics. Politics, tough deal. You even just break down the word politics, and you realize how difficult it is. Poly meaning many, ticks meaning bloodsuckers. In my work, I take part in a lot of meetings, okay? And there is this phenomena that I know you have going on here, and it's called the meeting after the meeting. It's really here. The meeting after the meeting, that's the real meeting. That's where people really share what's bugging them, right? That's where people really speak what's on their mind. They're candid, they're articulate, they're blunt, they're real. Yeah, we get the real meeting. Can you see that? Everybody else is saying it outside of here. Right into the passenger side door of this brand new Jag goes a brick. You heard this story? With both hands now around the little kid's neck, he said, "You have absolutely got my undivided attention. What in the world could be so important to do that kind of damage to a brand new car?" Feeling stupid, the guy walks over and puts the chair back on the concrete sidewalk and scoops the big kid out of the grass and sets him in the chair. And as if that all wasn't bad enough, he watches him walk down to the corner, take a left, and roll out of sight. Has a little moment to himself, thinking about what happened. Life is not about drawing all sorts of attention to ourselves. It's not about turning up the noise and the negativity, the criticizing, condemning, and complaining. It's about being there when people need us. It's my pleasure and privilege to continue to have an opportunity to work with you. I appreciate it. Being here. Have a great day. See ya.